Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Strat Baseball History. My name is Joe, and this is another episode of our 1962 replay as the New York Yankees will visit the Baltimore Orioles to start a series there. The Yankees come in with a record of 3-1, one game or a half game behind Minnesota, who leads the American League right now with a 4-1 record. The Yankees will send Jim Bouton to the mound for his first start of the season. He'll be opposed by Orioles pitcher Steve Barber, also making his first start of 62. The Yankees lineup looks like this. It's Tony Kubek at short, Bobby Richardson at second, Maris in right, Mantle batting cleanup and in center, Elston Howard, the catcher, batting fifth, Skowron, the first baseman, batting sixth, Boyer at third and batting seventh, Hector Lopez in left field and batting eighth, and Bouton, the pitcher, batting ninth. They'll be facing off against Jerry Adair at shortstop, batting first, Whitey Herzog, the right fielder, batting second, Brooks Robinson batting third and playing third, Jim Gentile, the first baseman, batting fourth, Jackie Brandt in center, batting fifth, batting sixth, Charlie Lau, the catcher, batting seventh, Dave Nicholson in left, batting eighth, Marv Breeding at second base, and ninth, the pitcher, Barber. So, we're ready to get this one going. Do a little play ball clicking, and we'll head to Memorial Stadium in Baltimore with that barren outfield in pitcher's eye. So, make sure everything's set up correctly, and leading off for the Yankees, Tony Kubek. He's batting a robust .083 on the year, 1 for 12 so far. Barber was 9-6 with a 3.46 ERA and 19 starts for Baltimore, 145 hits and 140 innings pitched, 61 walks, 89 Ks, and 9 homers allowed. So Kubek ready for the pitch from Barber. That's a 5-6, and Kubek is down on strikes. Tom Tresh missing a few games for the Yankees with an injury. It's minor. He'll be back in the lineup before the end of the week. Here's Richardson. 368, no homers, 3 RBIs so far for Bobby. And this is a 2-3. That's a line drive right at Robinson at third. He'll pull it in for the second out. That brings up Roger Maris, off to a 2-11 start, 1 homer, 3 RBIs. And 2-4. Maris draws a base on balls. So Roger down to first, no stealing threat, and Mantle coming up. The great center fielder Mickey Mantle off to a slow start, 214, no homers, 2 runs batted in 4 games. Barber the pitch to Mantle, a 1-10. There's a base hit for Mantle. Maris going to hold at second with 2 outs and give Elston Howard a chance to do some damage. Elston so far on the season, 2 for 14, a 143 batting average, no home runs and no runs batted in. That is a 3-11. Going to be a grounder to short. Adair will pick it. And sling it over to Gentile for the final out of the inning. So the Yanks retired. They leave 2. And Bouton taking the mound for New York. There's Jimmy Bouton. His first start of 62. Coming off a spectacular rookie campaign in 61, Bouton will be 7-7 with a 3.99 ERA and 16 starts in 1962. 124 hits allowed in 133 innings, 59 walks, 71 strikeouts, and thinking about a book he's going to write later. Taking arduous notes for Ball 4, which is a great read if you've never read it, folks. Jerry Adair will lead it off for the Orioles. He's off to a hot start, 444, 1 homer, 3 RBIs, and 18 at-bats. The pitch to Adair, a 4-3. That's a grounder down to Skowron at first. He's a first base 3. And he boots it, as is happening all too often these days. An error on Skowron lets Adair reach to start the inning off. Adair a C-stealer. They won't even hold him with Howard's ridiculous arm behind the plate. And Whitey Herzog coming up. Herzog 333, no homers, 1 RBI in the early going. That's a 1-10. And this one's grounded down towards Skowron. He's going to sling it over to Kubek at short and back to Boughton covering first for the 3-6-1 double play. 2 quick outs now for the Orioles. And Boughton ready to face Brooks Robinson. Brooks off to a hot start, 421, 2 homers, and 6 runs batted in. A 5-4, that's a fly ball out towards center. Mantle should have no problem with it. And he makes the catch to retire Robinson for the 3rd out. So, 3 up, 3 down, nobody left. The double play erases the hit, and no score after 1 inning. Barber coming up to face Skowron, Boyer, and Lopez. Here's Bill Skowron. So far, 267, no homers, 1 run batted in 15 at-bats. That's a 5-3 grounder down to first. Gentile is a 3. And he will scoop it up. Flip to Barber for the out. So Skowron's retired in plenty of time. And here comes Boyer. Cleat, 8 for 16 so far this season. 3 doubles, 1 homer, 4 runs batted in, and even 500 batting average. He's been seeing the ball well. And the pitch from Barber is a 3-8. Hits this one hard, but on the ground toward Robinson, the vacuum cleaner. Brooks grabs it, and strong throw to Gentile to retire Boyer for the 2nd out. That brings up Hector Lopez. 3 for 8 so far on the season with 3 runs batted in, a 375 batting average in limited play. Lopez ready for the pitch from Barber with 2 outs here in the 2nd. That's a 6-6. And Hector's patience pays off. He draws a base on balls. So Lopez down to first, and that means the pitcher Boughton will get a chance to bat. Barber will come right after him. 2 down and a man on first, and a 3-9 is going to be a grounder toward Brooks Robinson, who makes the play, no problem, over to Gentile to retire Boughton for the 3rd out of the inning. Yankees leave 1, no score after 1.5. Orioles coming to bat here in Memorial Stadium. Leading off the 2nd for the Orioles will be Jim Gentile. He's 2 for 19 on the season so far, a 158 batting average, 1 home run, 2 RBIs. Boughton delivers. It's a 6-6. Gentile gets a hold of this one. It's out toward the gap between Mantle and Maris. And Mantle's going to cut it off and hold Gentile to a single. So Gentleman Jim, hanging out on first base. That'll bring up Jackie Brandt. Brandt so far this year, 375, 1 home run, 2 RBIs, and 16 at-bats. He waits for the pitch from Boughton. Gentile staying close to first. Nobody out in the 2nd. 1-10. That's a grounder down to Kubek. He's going to scoop it up, flip it over to Richardson at 2nd. And on to Skowron to complete the double play. A 6-4-3 double play, and just like in the 1st inning, 1 man on, and suddenly there are 2 outs. And here's Baltimore catcher Charlie Lau. He's 2 for 14 so far on the season, a triple and an RBI, a 143 batting average for Lau. Boughton with the pitch, a 6-7, and he loses Lau a base on balls. Lau no threat to steal, and Dave Nicholson will come to the plate. Nicholson, 3 plate appearances so far. He's 0 for 3, looking for his first hit of 62. Boughton ready, and he pitches a 1-2. That's a deep fly ball to left field. Lopez ranging back at the track at the wall, but he will make the catch a few feet shy of the left center field wall. For the final out of the inning, Nicholson retired. So the Orioles leave 1. And we're through 2, folks. No score. Both pitchers doing their job so far. Barber returns to the mound. He'll face the top of the Yankees order in Kubek. Kubek 0 for 1 on the day. That's a 3-7. Pops this one up on the infield. Breeding is going to roam over and make the catch for the 1st out. Brings up Richardson. He's also 0 for 1. And a 1-9. It's going to be a grounder toward Adair. He scoops it and fires to Gentile to retire Richardson. 2 down. Here's Maris. walked his first time. And Barber ready to pitch to the left-hander. Roger coming off that historic 61-homer season in 1961. A 6-7. He's got a base hit here. Harris lines one up the middle, kept his hands back, and waited for the curve from Barber, and drove it right out into center and front branch for a base hit. So Maris is on with 2 outs, and here's Mickey Mantle. Mickey singled his first time up. See if Barber gives him anything to hit. Maris at first, not a threat to run. And a 3-11 is a ground ball down to Gentile at first. That will retire Mantle, as he flips to Barber for the final out of the inning. Score at 3-1, folks. The Yankees leave 1. Still no score after 2.5. And Marv Breeding will lead off the 3rd inning for the Orioles. Breeding so far on the season, 3 for 10, 1 home run, 4 RBIs. Breeding waits in the right-hand batter's box. Boughton, the right-hander, ready to deal. How about a 5-9? And that's a strikeout. Broke off a curveball on him, and Breeding goes down swinging. So 1 down. Here's Steve Barber. His first plate appearance, the pitcher. Boughton delivers to him. It's a 3-9 grounder down to Boyer at third. Boyer, almost as good a third baseman as Robinson. Slings it over to Skowron for the second out. And here's Adair, 0 for 1 on the day. 2 outs here in the third, a 3-7. That's another grounder to Boyer, who's going to take it, no problem, to retire the side. Adair is down, and nobody on, nobody left. And no score. We're through 3 quick innings here, folks. The Yankees coming to bat in the 4th. Elston Howard will lead it off. Howard grounded out his first time up. Barber pitches a 6-7. There's a base hit for Howard. Rips it in the hole between Adair and Robinson. And Elston saw that one well, but just got on top of it a little bit. So Howard will be at first. Skowron comes to the plate. Moose grounded out his first time up. Barber hoping to get another ground ball out of him and see if they can turn 2. Barber with the pitch. It's a 4-2. Skowron gets this one in the air toward left. Nicholson's going to roam over, semi-deep left, and make the play for the first out. And Skowron will have to retreat. Howard will retreat to first. That brings up Boyer. He also grounded out his first time up. Barber with the pitch. That's a 4-6. A line drive toward Adair at short. It's going to be a single on a 1-8, and it is. Past Adair into the outfield. And Nicholson cuts it off quickly. But Howard moves up to second, and Boyer's got himself a base hit. So Howard at second, Boyer at first, 1 out, and here's Hector Lopez, who walked his first time up. Steve Barber ready. The pitch. So Lopez is a 1-7. Another fly ball out toward Nicholson and left. Nicholson waits for it and makes the catch for the second out. Lopez is down, and Boughton now comes up with 2 men on and 2 outs. Jim's pitching well today, allowed just 1 hit so far. Barber to Boughton, a 3-7. Grounder toward Breeding at second, and he'll have no problem. Routine play. Flips it to Gentile for the 3rd out of the inning. So the Yanks leave 2 this time. They're getting base runners on, but not getting that clutch big hit. And Boughton returns to the mound to face the 2-3-4 hitters, Herzog, Robinson, and Gentile. Here's Whitey Herzog. Boughton delivers a 5-6 and strikes out Herzog with that curveball. Whoops. A hit single by accident. Undo last play. So Herzog down on strikes for the first out. And Brooks Robinson up. 0 for 1 on the day. Boughton with a 3-8. Pops him up, and Kubek will roam over and make the easy play for the second out. 2 quick Oriole outs here in the 4th. And Jim Gentile, a single his first time up. The only hit against Boughton so far today, and there's a 4-6. He's going to have another one. This one's out toward the gap again. But Maris is able to cut it off and hold Gentile to his second single of the day. For Gentleman Jim, a 2-out single. And that'll bring up Jackie Brandt, who's 0 for 1 so far. Grounded into a double play his first time up. They only need 1 this time, so Boughton doesn't care where he hits it as long as someone catches it. Boughton delivers. It's a 5-11. This one's grounded right towards Skowron at first. He will pick it up and flip to Boughton, covering for the 3rd out. So here in the 4th, the Orioles leave 1, fail to score again. And we've got a scoreless tie as we head to the 5th inning. Barber coming up. Face the top of the order again. Kubek, Richardson, and Maris. The 1-2-3 hitters, their 3rd time through against Barber. Let's see if they see the ball any better. 3-3. Kubek is a grounder down to second. Breeding scoops it and throws to Gentile to retire. Kubek by a step. 1 down, and here's Richardson, 0 for 2 on the day. A 3-9. That's a fly ball to center. Brandt has the range and the bead, and he puts it away for the 2nd out of the inning. And here's Maris, 1 for 1 and walked. So he's reached both times today, folks. He's seeing the ball well. Let's see how he does against Barber's pitch. A 1-7. And Roger lets that one go by wide, and he'll draw his 2nd walk of the day. So giving Mickey Mantle another chance to hit with a runner on. Always dangerous. Mantle's ready to go. He singled and grounded out today. Maris on first. Not a big lead. He figures if Mantle hits it somewhere hard, he'll have plenty of time to go where he's going. A 3-8. And Barber, being a little too careful, loses Mantle. Well, if there's 2 guys in this lineup you're going to walk, that's the 2. The only problem is you've got the big catcher Elston Howard coming up next, and he's a pretty good hitter as well. Howard 1 for 2 on the day, singled his last time up. He's got 2 men on, 2 men out, and would love to give the Yankees a lead here. Barber stares in, takes the sign he's ready, and the pitch. How about a 3-6 ground ball on the ground, obviously. That's where ground balls go, folks, toward Jerry Adair at short. Adair scoops it up, fires to Gentile, plenty of time to retire Howard. So the Yanks again leaving runners on base, 2 men left. Barber gets through 5, despite the 2 walks. And the Orioles will come to bat in the 5th with Lau, Nicholson, and Breeding due up. Here's Charlie Lau. He walked his only plate appearance so far. Boughton with the pitch, a 1-7. Pops him up on the infield. Skowron's over and makes the play for the 1st out. It's going to bring up Dave Nicholson, who flew out his first time up. Boughton's pitch is a 3-6. Strikeout on Nicholson. He painted the corner with that curve that time. Nicholson didn't even get his bat off his shoulders. He was badly fooled. Going to be Boughton's 3rd strikeout of the day, and now he'll face Breeding, who struck out his first time up. 2 down, nobody on for the Orioles, and Boughton delivers here in the 5th, a 3-7. That's a fly ball out toward left. Hector Lopez will have plenty of time to get under it. And he makes the play for the final out. So the Orioles, 3 up, 3 down. Barber due to lead off the next inning, so this may be his last inning on the mound if, well, regardless of what happens, because if the Yankees score, they're going to pinch hit. The Yankees don't score, you may see Barber again. We'll have to see what the manager decides. In any case, Barber returns to the mound to pitch the 6th against New York, and he'll face Skowron, Boyer, and Lopez. Skowron grounded out and flew out 0 for 2 officially on the day. And the pitch from Barber to Skowron. Now that's cocked eye. How about a 2-5? Single 1 to 19 or a line out to short. Adair cannot make the spectacular play. It's by him. And Nicholson will cut it off and throw it in quickly, but Skowron's got himself a single. So the leadoff man's on for New York here in the 6th. And that brings up Boyer. Singled his last time up, 1 for 2 on the day. The pitcher ready. About a 3-8. A sharp ground ball down toward Robinson. He scoops it up quickly to Breeding over at second and on to Gentile at first. A 5-4-3. Double play to erase the runner, and 2 outs now for New York. Here in the 6th. And Hector Lopez coming up. Lopez 0 for 1 with a base on balls today. The pitch to Lopez is a 4-6. That's a line drive toward Adair at short. And he's going to make the catch. Nice play by Adair to pull that one in for the 3rd out. The Yanks are retired. They'll leave no one on. And the manager's got a decision to make. Barber so far has allowed 5 hits and no runs. And he's due to lead off the 6th as a hitter. Well, they're going to let him hit, folks. He's pitching too well against this good New York lineup. So Boughton will face Barber to lead things off. In a 0-0 game in the 6th. 3-6. That's a grounder down to Kubek. Fires to Skowron, no problem. Retires Barber for the 1st out. Here's Jerry Adair 0 for 2 on the day. Reached on an error back in the 1st. How about a 3-6? That's going to be a strikeout. Boughton's 4th strikeout of the day. He's pitching very well. It's allowed just 2 hits now as we go to 2 outs here in the 6th inning. And Whitey Herzog will come up. He's 0 for 2. Grounded out and struck out. Boughton wasting no time. He likes working quick when he's pitching well, and it's a 5-7. Well, he worked a little too quick there. Thought he caught the corner, but the ump disagreed, and Herzog draws a walk. So 1 man on, 2 men out, and here's the dangerous hitter, Brooks Robinson. Robinson's flown out and popped out. He's just been off. Boughton's pitches by a little bit. Oh, Boughton ready to deliver to the right-hander Robinson. Herzog on first, 2 men out. Here's Boughton's pitch. It's a 1-6. There's a line drive through the right side between Richardson and Skowron. Maris recovers and throws it in quickly to hold Herzog at second, but a 2-out base hit for Robinson, and the Orioles are threatening now. 2 men on, 2 men out here in the 6th inning. And Jim Gentile comes to the plate with 2 singles against Boughton on the day. Boughton's ready. Gentile waits on the left side. And that is a 6-7. And Boughton can't get him. His control has deserted him here. He walks Gentile. And it says he's tired, but he's got a shutout intact. So we're going to let Boughton try to get out of this with Jackie Grant coming to the plate and 2 outs. Boughton knows he's got to get this batter or he's done. He's got every incentive to keep this shutout intact and give those New York bats a chance to wake up. Boughton the pitch to Brandt with the bases loaded. A 6-4. That's going to be a catcher's card X. Elston Howard's a 2, and we roll a 10. That's a squibber in front of the mound. Howard pounces on it, fires down to first for the out. That'll end the inning. Boughton gets out of trouble. The Orioles leave 3. And after 6 complete, folks, we've got no score. Well, in this case, Boughton did lead off. He just got into a little bit of trouble. But they're going to let him stay in. The manager's showing confidence that Boughton, while tiring, deserves the chance to get that shutout. You would never see that in 2020, folks, but here in 1962, it was the norm. So Barber to pitch to Boughton to lead off the 7th for the Yanks. A 6-6, and Boughton shows he deserved the confidence. He lays off a tiring Barber's curveball, and it's wide. Boughton's down to first with a base on balls, and Kubek comes to the plate. Barber going to be in a short leash here, probably. The pitch to Kubek, a 1-6. There's a base hit for Kubek, up the middle. Branting quickly recovers and throws to third. Boughton will stop at second. The Yanks have the first 2 men on, and Bobby Richardson due to the plate. Oh. Barber ready to go, and Richardson's going to drop down a bunt here. A sacrifice attempt with 2 men on, 2 out. Nobody was ready for it. He rolls a 3, folks, on the basic sacrifice chart. That means he beats out the base hit. So as Things have gone terribly here. The bases are loaded. The Orioles will have to play the infield in against Maris, and they're going to give Barber a chance to get out of his own mess, because that's how we do things in 62. Yes, I have a long, slow hook, folks, but it may seem weird to 2020 baseball fans, but it's actually questionable whether or not Barber would be pulled here. He'd probably be given an opportunity to get these outs with a shutout intact. So, Maris, 1 for 1 with 2 base on balls on the day. He's had a good eye against Barber. The 6-11 is a ground ball down to first C. With the infield in, Gentile's going to fire home for the force out of Boughton. So everybody else advances. Boughton will be retired at home on the 3-2. And 1 run down now. The infield in pays off there, and now Barber has to deal with Mantle with the bases loaded. 1 down. Infield still drawn in. And a 2-9. And he strikes out Mantle with the bases loaded. Huge strikeout for Steve Barber. So his defense helps him out, and then he helps himself out. He's got 2 outs now. His bases loaded with nobody out. Now it's bases loaded with 2 men out. The Yankees have been leaving runners on base all day long. The Orioles left the bases loaded last inning. And New York does not want to do the same, especially at the away game. But Barber has something to say about that as he settles on the mound to pitch to Elston Howard, who's 1 for 3 on the day, singled and grounded out twice. Howard waits, looking calm and collected as Barber comes from the left side. There's a 3-5, and he strikes out Howard! Huge pitching from Barber to settle down and get out of trouble there, striking out Mantle and Howard here in the 7th inning to hold the Yankees scoreless. So Barber walks back to the mound, pumping his fist. Walks back to the dugout, pumping his fist, and Boughton comes out, tips his cap to Barber, and gets ready to pitch on the mound. Both these pitchers have been working hard today, folks. It's 0-0 as we go to the bottom of the 7th, and the Orioles will send up Lau, Nichols, and Breeding. Lau is 0 for 1 with a base on balls, and Boughton ready to pitch. A 4-6. This one's going to be out in the gap between Maris and Mantle. It could get down. It does, but Mantle's over to cut it off and hold the batter Lau to a single. So Charlie Lau's got himself a base hit to lead things off, and here's Dave Nicholson. Nicholson, a pedestrian batter. He's 0 for 2 on the day, giving Boog Powell a day off. Although we may see Boog in pitch hitting duties if the pitcher comes to bat at some point. So Boughton ready to deliver, Nicholson ready for the pitch, a 3-9 strikeout. Boughton gets Nicholson swinging. And that's going to bring up Marv Breeding. Breeding 0 for 2 on the day. Boughton ready. Lau's on first, and it's a 6-5. And Breeding gets a hold of this one. It's deep out to left center field between Lopez and Mantle. Lopez racing back to the wall. It's a home run 1-4, double 5-20. It's one hops the wall. Lopez collects it and throws it in. Lau may have an opportunity to score. We'll have to see what his running rating is. 1-10. Lau's going to try to score with the 0-0 here. At 15, Lopez to Kubek to the catcher Howard, and he's dead duck at home. Aggressive base running by the Orioles does not pay off there, folks, and Breeding now out at second. Barber on the mound. Barber coming up to bat, and we will finally see a pinch hitter, and Steve Barber's day is done. Well, he's pitched a fantastic game, folks, but you need runs to win. And in this case, they're not going to let him bat. With the go-ahead run out at second base, and no score in this one. The Barber goes 7. Allows 7 hits and no runs. Let's see if the pinch hitter will indeed be Boog Powell. It may not be the best option. Well, the best option for a base hit is actually Earl Robinson. So Earl Robinson's going to come in to bat for Steve Barber. Robinson's third pitch to the plate this year. He's 0 for 2 so far. A base hit here should cash in Breeding, and Boughton on the mound waiting for Robinson to settle into the box. He finally does, and Boughton on the rubber to deliver. 2 outs, man at second, no score. The pitch, a 6-5, and this is another one out in the gap. This is trouble, folks. It's deep. Lopez going back. He can't catch this one. It's a 6-5. And a 4 on the split is a home run. This one, Earl Robinson comes through. A big 2-run home run for Baltimore. And the Orioles now lead 2-0 with 2 down here in the 7th. Well, Boughton will pitch to Adair, but he'll have to come out after this inning per my own rules. Or if he gives up another hit right here. Well, this is a grounder to second. Richardson's a 1. A 14 on the 1 is out, so it's going to be a grounder to Richardson. Over to Skowron for the 3rd out of the inning. But the pinch hit pays off. And the Orioles now lead New York 2-0. Well, the Yankees will come up, and Baltimore has to select a new pitcher. And it looks like they're going to go... Baltimore has a little bit of problem here. They have some injuries in their bullpen. They're going to have to go to Billy Heft. As Dick Hall and Hoyt Wilhelm are both injured for a few games. They're down to 3 bullpen arms, and Heft is going to have to take his turn here and try to keep things in order for the Baltimore lead. So Heft comes in. He's going to face Skowron, Boyer, and Lopez. Excuse me. So Skowron run for 3 on the day. The Yankees now trailing by 2 here in the 8th. Billy Heft ready to face Skowron. The pitch is a 2-9, and he strikes him out. Well, Skowron's down. Boyer's coming to the plate. Cleat 1 for 3. The pitch, a 4-6, and Boyer draws a walk. Heft loses him as Boyer trots down to first, and Hector Lopez due to bat. Lopez 0 for 2 with a base on balls. And that's a 1-4. Grounder to short. Adair is going to flip to Breeding and then on to Gentile. That's a 6-4-3 double play. And Heft gets through the 8th. New York once again leaves a runner on. I don't know if they've had a 1-2-3 inning all day, folks. But they haven't been able to convert. So Whitey Herzog to lead off for the Orioles. Boughton is indeed done on the day. And let's see. New York's going to bring in Bud Daly. Bud Daly to try to hold the lead right here and give his guys a chance in the 9th. As soon as I find him, we'll put him in. There he is. So Daly relieves Boughton. Boughton goes 7, gives up 2 runs, and is the losing pitcher of record right now. Daly to face 2, 3, and 4, Herzog, Robinson, and Gentile. Here's Herzog, who's walked and 0 for 2 otherwise. Daly's pitch is a 6-7. Fly ball out to Marison Wright. He puts it away for the 1st out. That brings up Robinson. Brooks 1 for 3 on the day. He's a single his last trip. And a 5-11. This one's going to get down in left center. Lopez cuts it off and holds Robinson to a single. But Brooksy on it first. And that'll bring up Gentile. Gentile perfect on the day, 2 for 2 and a walk his last time up. He'd love to keep it that way. Daly, of course, has other ideas. Lefty versus lefty. Not that that matters in basic, but it's worth noting. Well, there's a strikeout. Daly gets the best of Gentile and ends his perfect day. Robinson will have to stay at first, and with 2 outs, Jackie Brandt comes to the plate. 3 groundouts on the day for Brandt. Daly delivers a 6, a 7. Gets this one in the air out to right, but Maris has plenty of room. Roams over and makes the catch for the 3rd out. So the Orioles go down, they leave 1. Daly does his job, and now it's up to these Yankee batters to get something going against Billy Heft, who's trying to save it for Barber. Daly's due to hit. That will not happen, as the Yankees will call on a pinch hitter, somebody who gets on base a lot, hopefully. Let's find out who they've got available. It's going to be Jack Reed. Jack Reed coming in to pinch hit for New York with his limited play appearances, 43 at bats, but a .362 on base percentage. Reed so far this season 0 for 2. To face Heft, leading off the 9th. The Yanks need 2 runs to keep this game going. That's a 4-7. A line drive toward Adair. An 18 says it's just off his glove, and it's going to be an infield hit as Adair recovers, but there's no throw to be made. So there you go, folks. Jack Reed leading off with a base hit. They're not holding him. Actually, they are holding him because they want to keep the double play in order, and Tony Kubek comes to the plate. So Heft to deal to Kubek, who's 1 for 4 on the day. That's a 4-9. There's a double 1-9, single 10-20. Kubek chops this one out toward right center. It gets down in between, goes all the way to the wall. One hops it. Brandt recovers quickly and throws in, but it's 2nd and 3rd by the time the ball gets back to the infield, and the Yankees are threatening. Bobby Richardson coming up. They're going to have to throw the infield in. Try to cut off these runs. They can't walk Richardson to go to Maris, can they? So Heft is going to have to face Richardson with runners on 2nd and 3rd, nobody out. The infield's drawn in. And it's a 5-5, and that's a big strikeout for Billy Heft. Maris was looking for a walk to load the bases. Richardson, I should say, was looking for a walk to load the bases and kept the bat on his shoulder on a close pitch, and the ump gave Heft the benefit of the doubt. It's 1 down now. Well, now you have to face Maris and Mantle. Very reluctant to put the go-ahead run on. So they're going to pitch to Maris, but carefully, probably. The infield's still drawn in. The pitch to Maris, a 6-3. Grounder down to first. Gentile gets on it. Ground ball C on the infield in. Reed is going to have to hold at third as Gentile makes a good play. Actually, let's score that differently. Doesn't really matter, but in order for him to hold the runner, I feel like it had to be pretty close to the bag, so stays, and Gentile takes it to the bag himself at first. He barely had to move on that one as Maris grounds out, and now it's up to Mickey Mantle, who's 1 for 3 with a base hit and a walk on the day. 2 outs here in the top of the 9th, The Yankees trail by 2. Reed on 3rd, Kubek on 2nd. And Mickey Mantle to the plate. Number 7, Mickey Mantle. Except we're in Baltimore, so they wouldn't announce him like that. But Billy Heft. Is now the time to walk Mantle? No, you don't want to deal with Elston Howard. Well, maybe you do. There's a big difference. Yeah, they're going to walk Mantle. They got through Maris. They walked Mantle to deal with Howard because Howard's a good hitter, but nowhere near the caliber that Mantle is. Now the bases are loaded for New York. And Heft is going to deliver to Howard with 2 outs here in the 9th. Howard has to do something to keep this game alive. He does! It's a double 1-9, single 10-20 off the pitcher's card. Howard out to left center. Either way, 2 runs are going to score. It gets down. 1 hops the wall. A 2-base hit for Howard. Mantle on to third. And the Yankees have tied this game. Elston Howard against the depleted Baltimore bullpen. Tying it up here in the 9th inning. And there's still 2 men in scoring position for Moose Skowron. A dangerous hitter in his own right for New York. Boyer up next. They're going to elect to walk Skowron. They just need 1 out here, folks, and they'd rather take their chances with Clete Boyer than Skowron. Clete a little less likely to hit it out of the park. And more likely to strike out than Skowron, believe it or not. So Heft is ready. The base is loaded full of Yanks. They've tied it at 2. There's 2 outs. Here's the pitch to Skowron. A 1-12 is a ground ball to short. Adair is going to pick it and throw over to first for the out. But the Yankees tie it up. The only problem is the Orioles will have a chance to win it in the bottom of the 9th. Otherwise, we'll go to extras, folks. So, Bud Daly come out here. Oh no, Daly's been pinch hit for, I forgot. So Daly was pinch hit before. The Yankees are going to bring out Marshall Bridges to pitch. So Bridges takes the mound. Try to get this one to extra innings. He's going to face Charlie Lau. Nichols and Breeding due up. We'll see if there's some pinch hitting involved here. Marshall Bridges, the lefty, to face Lau, the lefty. Doesn't matter in basic, folks. 6-6, and he loses Lau to a leadoff walk. Well, that's interesting. Let's see if there's any pinch runners in the Baltimore bench. There probably is. We've got Johnny Temple, a B 1-14. Their normal second baseman been taking a day off. He's going to come in and pinch run for Lau. So Lau out of the game. Temple comes in. And Nicholson's due up next. We'll have to see if he hits. Probably not. Nope, it's going to be Big Boog Powell, pinch hitting for Nicholson. So 2 changes made here by the Baltimore manager, Earl Weaver. Was Earl Weaver in 62? Probably not. I don't know who the Baltimore manager was in 62. But in any case, Temple comes in to pinch run, and Powell comes in to hit for Nicholson. Boog was enjoying his day off, having a beer on the bench, but he's ready to go now. Leaves the beer in the on-deck circle. And he'll face Bridges with Temple on first and nobody out. What do I want to do here? Temple would be, with Howard behind the plate, it's not a great chance to steal. He'd be a 1-7 if they're holding him, and they are. So Powell is just going to have to try not to ground into a double play. He's obviously going to try to get a hold of one and park it in the seats to end this game. Bridges with the pitch, a 2-3. And Powell swung hard, but pops it up on the infield. Richardson's over and takes it for the first out of the inning. So Temple still at first and Breeding due up. See if that stays. 273 on base for Breeding. Yeah, they're going to let it stand, actually. And going to hit and run to try to stay out of the double play. Breeding 1 for 3 with a double on the day. Who's due up next? Earl Robinson. Actually, no, it's going to be the pitcher spot, isn't it? So Breeding with the hit and run. A 3. That's going to be a good hit and run, folks. Perfect hit and run between Richardson and Skowron. The ball into the outfield. Maris gets it in quickly, but Temple running on the pitch. He's going to get over to third. Well, they did exactly what they wanted to do there, folks. They've got the runner. Robinson was out before. This is actually the pitcher spot. Hooft due up, and you know they're going to pinch hit here. So Billy Hooft's day is done. And let's see what Baltimore comes up with here. Well, it's going to be Dick Williams. Looks like their best option left on the bench. It's Triendos, Williams, or Hansen. So Williams, the best hitter by far of the three, will come to the plate. Williams pinch hitting for Hooft. Reading it first. Temple at third, excuse me. Only one run down. Now, the Yankees have to draw the infield in, and Dick Williams to hit against Marshall Bridges. Bridges with the pitch to Williams. 6-7. That's going to be a ground ball to second. Richardson is a 1. And that's a 13 on the 1. Out with no runners on base 4. Let's see how that translates on our infield in chart. Oh, that's going to be, that's not a bases loaded situation. Ground balls other than those resulting in hitter error out, and the runner on third holds. Other runners advance one base. So Richardson charges it, looks Temple back to third, and throws over to first to get Williams. So good job defensively for the Yankees there by Richardson. Williams is retired. Breeding moves up. Temple cannot score, and it's going to come up to Jerry Adair, who's 0 for 4 on the day. They're not going to pinch hit for him. Bridges is going to have to deal with him. They're certainly not going to walk him to face Herzog, so Adair settles into the batter's box. The right-hander waiting for the left-hander Bridges. It's all tied at 2. 2 men out, 2 on here in the bottom of the 9th for the Orioles. They could win it with a base hit. That's a 5-10. And, whoops, wrong column. A grounder to short. Kubek's a 2. I roll a 20. Kubek's going to scoop that one up and fire to Skowron for the third out. And we're going to extra innings, ladies and gentlemen. As Adair goes down. And we're going to have to see what Baltimore does here. They're going to have to select a pitcher. But we also have a few missing positions here, so who came out? Well, first of all, let's pick a pitcher. Not too many options for the Orioles, so it's going to be Wes Stock pitching his second day in a row. Stock will come in. What position am I missing? Left field? And Powell to bat sooner, so Powell will come in and stay in and play left, and Stock is going to go bat in the 9th spot and come in as the pitcher. We're apparently missing a catcher. That's right, because Temple pinch ran. So Dick Williams is out. Powell stays in. Johnny Temple's going to be out. And the new catcher is going to be Gus Triendos, batting after Brent and before Temple. Oh, a few changes to be made there, folks. Sorry about that. He's not a pinch runner. He's the catcher. So the Orioles with wholesale changes, but we're ready to go. And Hector Lopez now due to lead it off against Stock. Yeah, they're going to let Lopez hit. He's 0 for 3 with a walk on the day. Bridges due up next. We'll probably see a pinch hitter. And it's a 1-8 for Lopez. A ground ball to short. Adair scoops it and over to Gentile at first for the out. First out here in the 10th for New York. Bridges due to hit. Jack Reed has been removed since. So Marshall Bridges will end his day. And the Yankees will bring up We're going to try for a little bit of power with Joe Pepitone. Pepitone's 7 homers and 155 at-bats. Taking his first at-bat of the season. Pinch hitting for Bridges here. So, stock ready to pitch to Pepitone. It's a 2-3. Pepitone pops this one up on the infield. Breeding is over. And makes the catch for the second out. So Pepitone retired, and here's Kubek, 2 for 5 with a double on the day. A long foul ball there. On the first pitch from Stock. Kubek ready again, and it's going to be something 12. It's a 4-12, a fly ball out to right. Herzog roams over and takes it for the third out. So Pepitone will return to the bench. We'll have a new pitcher for the Yankees. As we go to the bottom of the 10th here, tied 2-2. That new pitcher is going to be Tex Clevenger. Clevenger bats as a 1. And he'll bat 9th. So Clevenger comes into the game to try to keep it right here and give New York further opportunities to advance to a win. But the Orioles can end it right here in the bottom of the 10th. Small station break, folks, as we let Clevenger warm up. I'm getting notifications all of a sudden from YouTube, folks, so pardon me. Thank you for your comments and likes and for watching the videos. I really appreciate all the support I've been given by the Strat and tabletop sports community so far. It's really been nice. As I fumble my way through these replays, it's really been a lot of fun sharing my hobby with you. So, tune into Strat Baseball History, and don't forget you can follow the full 62 replay at my website /blog at www.stratbaseballhistory.com. We head to the bottom of the 10th. Baltimore and the Yankees are tied at 2, and it's going to be 2-3-4 for Baltimore against Clevenger, Herzog, Robinson, and Gentile. Here's Whitey Herzog, 0 for 3 with a walk today. He'll try to get something started. Well, it's a 2-5. That's a fly ball to center. Mantle going to have no problem with that and takes it for the first out. Herzog retired, and here comes Brooke Robinson. Robinson, 2 singles his last 2 times up. His first time facing Clevenger. This is a 3-4, and Clevenger gets him swinging for the second out, a strikeout. That's going to bring up a gentle Jim Gentile, 33 homers to his credit in 62. He's hit 1 so far this year, batting .227 on the season, but if he hits 1 here, he's going to be the hero. Clevenger on the mound, ready to pitch to the left-hander Gentile. A 5-9. That's a ground ball. Hit hard toward Kubek at short. 119 on the shortstop, too. And Kubek boots it. That's an error on Kubek. And Gentile finds himself at first base. He's been a regular visitor to first today. And that's going to give Jackie Brandt a chance to be the hero. Brandt 0 for 4 on the day. 3 ground outs and a fly out. At least he got the ball in the air last time. He'd like to find a gap here. He's going to have to if Gentile's going to score from first. So Brandt ready. Clevenger ready. Here's the pitch. That's a 6-4. Catcher's card X this time. Elston Howard's a 2. A 12 on the 2 is going to be a foul out. So he fouls this one off. Howard over by the screen and takes it in for the third out. So Clevenger does his job, holds the Orioles right where they are, and we go to the 11th, tied at 2. Wes Stock going to continue pitching for the Orioles. He'll face the top of the lineup. Excuse me, he won't. He'll face Richardson to lead things off, followed by Maris and Mantle. A big inning here for New York with their sluggers coming up. Bobby Richardson will love to get something going. He's 1 for 5 on the day. Struck out his last time up. Stock the pitch. It's a 4-5, and he strikes out Richardson to set the tone for this inning. Nobody on now, and Maris will come up with 1 out. Rogers walked twice and singled today. He's 1 for 3 on the day. Looking for his second home run on the season. He's off to a slow start compared to his 61 last year. Stock will deliver. And 1-8. Maris chops it on the ground toward Gentile. Gentile scoops it up and beats Maris to first for the second out. Well, here's Mantle. Mickey was intentionally walked last time with 2 men on. He wasn't happy about it, so he's walked twice and singled today. 1 for 3 efficiently, but a 600 on-base percentage on the day for Mantle. Stock to deliver to Mantle with 2 men out. Here's a 4-6. And Mickey drives this one into the outfield for a base hit. So Mantle on at first. They're going to have to hold him. Because Mick's prone to steal a base. He's, let's see, 1 to 13. He'd be 1 to 11 if they don't hold him. Maybe they won't hold him. No, they probably hold him. He'd be 1 to 9. They are going to hold him, and Howard's going to come to the plate. They don't want Mantle to get a good jump and come all the way around to score, so... Elston Howard, 2 for 5 on the day. A double and 2 runs batted in, the big blow that tied the game back in the 8th inning. Actually, back in the 9th inning. And here we are on the bottom of the 11th. Mantle on first, 2 men out again, and Howard is up. West Stock the pitch, a 2-6. Strikes out Howard to end the inning. And the Orioles will come to the bat in the bottom of the 11th. The score's all tied. Clevenger will try to keep it there, and the Orioles will try to win the game. It'll be Gus Triandos to lead things off against Clevenger, his first at-bat of the day. Clevenger wastes no time. It's a 1-8. That one's a pop-up on the infield over by Kubek. He's going to roam over, settle under it, and make the play to retire Triandos for the first out of the inning. Here's Powell. He popped out his first time up, and Boog knows that a long ball here could make him a hero. Well, this is a 6-9. It's a line drive towards Skowron at first, and he snares it. A liner right toward Moose. Was almost past him, and he reached out his glove and made the catch to retire Powell for the second out. Well, now it's Marv Breeding coming up. He's got a couple of base hits on the day, including a double. Not much of a home run threat. Clevenger deals 2-11. And Breeding goes the other way with this one between Richardson and Skowron for a 2-out base hit to keep the inning alive. The bad news is West Stock is due up. And there's only 1 bullpen pitcher left before they have to start going. But, folks, you have to try to win these games. Stock's going to go sit down. And who do we have left on the bench? It looks like it's going to be the final bench batter for the Orioles, Ron Hansen. So Hansen comes up, Breeding on first, a D stealer. He's not going anywhere. Hansen, a 173 hitter, 289 on base percentage, and we actually have to put him in the game, folks. Snyder's injured, and Landreth is actually not available till later in the season, as he's on the Mets right now until the trade. So, he's one of those multi-carded players. Those are the only trades I'm making in the season. Because I don't want 2 players playing on the same team at the same time. So, Hansen up, Breeding on first, 2 men down here in the bottom of the 11th, and Clevenger with the pitch, a 6-2, fly ball out to right. Maris measures it, no problem, and makes the catch to retire the side. So, 1 left, and after 11, we're still tied. The Yankees coming up in the 12th. They'll need a pitcher. Hansen's going to go sit down. And the pitcher for the Orioles will be Art Quirk. Quirk making his first appearance of the season. He'll have to deal with Skowron, Boyer, and Lopez here in the 12th for New York. So here's Skowron, 1 for 4 with a walk on the day. The pitch. A 4-7 is a base hit. Skowron lines one through the left side for a leadoff single. And now Skowron's on first, and Boyer will come to the plate. Also 1 for 4 with a walk today. The pitch is a 5-10. Fly ball to center field X. Brent is a 2. We roll a 6. And Brent's going to make that catch, running in no problem. Oops. Fly out 8. Skowron will have to hold and retreat to first. So Boyer's the first out. Hector Lopez coming up for New York. Lopez 0 for 4 with a walk today. Quick deals to Lopez at 2-9. That's going to be a base hit. Skowron have any speed? He does not, so he'll hold at second. But 2 men on and only 1 out for New York now. Clevenger due to be the hitter. You know that's not going to happen. We'll find a pinch hitter for Tex, as both teams are going deep into their bullpen and bench today. It's going to be, looks like it's going to be Dale Long, actually. Dale Long's going to come in and pinch hit for Tex Clevenger. And these extra inning games make these recordings go long, folks. Thank you for sticking with me. Hope you'll stick around for what should be an exciting ending, one way or the other. Well, Quirk's ready. 2 men on, 1 out, and Dale Long at the plate. Long making his second bat of the season. He's 0 for 1 so far. The pitch to Long. It's a 2-7. That's a base hit. Dale Long pulls one between Gentile and Breeding through the right side. Skowron on his way home. He will score. And the Yankees. Lopez on to third. The Yankees take a 3-2 lead on the base hit. The pinch hit base hit by Dale Long. So Quirk couldn't do anything about that. Now the infield's going to have to come in as Kubek comes to the plate. 2 for 6 with a double on the day is Tony. They'll have to try to cut off any more runs if they want to stay in this one. Art Quirk to Kubek. That's a 5-7. And that's a bad spot. Double 1 to 7. The longer you talk, the harder it gets, folks. A double 1 to 17, single 18 to 20. And another run's going to come in for New York, regardless. That's a double for Kubek, out between Herzog and Brandt. Brandt cuts it off, but Kubek's going to motor in. Lopez will score, and the Yanks now lead by 2, 4-2. So Art Quirk, evidently hittable today. Here in the 12th, and the Yankees have scored 2 and just 1 out with 2 men on. They're in that weird spot again where Richardson's up and Maris is on deck. They can't walk Richardson, so they'll draw the infield in and try to cut off a run. That's a 1-2. Well, there's a line drive to Breeding at second. He's literally standing on the bag as he makes the catch. Doubles off Kubek, and that'll end the inning. And a big relief. As Breeding with the unassisted double play to retire the Yanks and hold them to just 2 runs on a hard hit ball by Bobby Richardson. Quirk does not have to face Maris and Mantle, at least not yet. And the Yankees will need a new pitcher to face the Orioles. So Dale Long did a great job. He's going to sit down. And the pitcher for New York is going to be Luis Arroyo. Arroyo comes in. He's a 3-hitter. Not that he's going to hit, but we have to mark his place in the lineup. Orioles fans not happy. But this decimated bullpen does not have Hoyt Wilhelm to rely on. And Arroyo's going to come in and try to save this game for the Yanks. So Dale Long with that big pinch hit got things going. The Yankees have 15 hits, end up scoring 2 there, and lead by 2. As we go to the bottom of the 12th, the Orioles will send up the top of the order: Adair, Herzog, and Robinson against Luis Arroyo. Arroyo, 1 inning pitch so far in the season, 1 save, and no runs allowed. Here's Jerry Adair, 0 for 5 on the day as Adair, and Baltimore has nobody left on the bench. Arroyo with the 5-6, that's a strikeout of Adair. Well-placed fastball, and Adair is the first out. So here's Herzog, 0 for 4 with a walk. And that's a 6-7. That's a base hit. That's going to be trouble. Out toward the gap. Herzog goes the other way with it between Lopez and Mantle. And Mantle cuts it off. He's going to throw it in quickly and hold Herzog to a single. So good play by Mantle to prevent an extra base hit there. But Herzog on at first, and that makes Brooks Robinson the tying run. Brooks has power. Expected to hit 23 homers in 62. He's already got 2 on the season and a .417 batting average to go with it. He'll face Arroyo. He's 2 for 5 on the day. Brooks is just thinking about hitting the ball hard somewhere, I'm sure. And if it gets up and out to tie the game, all the better. Arroyo thinking about keeping the ball on the ground and ending this game. It's a 1-8 single 1-7 or a line out to third. Hit hard toward Boyer. It's caught. 17. Boyer snatches it out of the air to retire Robinson for the second out. And Herzog will stay at first. Well, that's going to bring up Gentile, who's 2 for 4 and walked on the day. Jim definitely has the power to tie this game back up. And Arroyo will try to keep the ball low again. Lefty versus lefty. Gentile waits. It's a 5-9. And he strikes him out. That'll do it, ladies and gentlemen. Here in Baltimore, the Yankees steal one from the Orioles, trailing 2-0 going into the 9th. They tie it up in the 9th. Score 2 here in the 12th, and Luis Arroyo saves it as New York improves to 4-1. The Orioles fans go home unhappy, but an exciting ball game nonetheless. The win is going to go to Clevenger in relief. 2 innings pitched, just 1 hit and no runs allowed. Great relief work by the bullpens for both teams today. The Yanks with 5 innings in relief and no extra runs allowed. Steve Barber had a shutout through 7. Huft gave it up for him, and Quirk with the loss for the Orioles. Excuse me. Elston Howard, the big hero of the game, 2 RBIs to tie the game up, and Kubek and Dale Long added the extra 2 on. Dale Long with that big pinch hit single in the top of the 12th. That put the Yankees ahead for good. So over on the Baltimore side, both Robinson and Gentile had a couple of hits, and Marv Breeding went 3 for 5. But Earl Robinson was the big pinch hitter over there. 1 hit and 1 at bat and 2 runs driven in that put the Orioles up initially with their lead. They couldn't hold it as the Yanks go to 4-1, the Orioles go to 3-3, and this is Joe for Strat Baseball History, reminding you that every day is a great day for baseball. Whatever you do today, stick around, enjoy the games, and we'll see you soon. Bye-bye. Whatever you do today, stick around. Stick around where? The video's over, Joe. Pay attention to your own broadcasts. I have to write down an ending for these things. Have a good day, folks. Thanks for stopping by.